gangs, they're never going to get destroyed. They're never going to stop. But what we can do is influence the ones that are growing up right now to understand that that's not the way.
Naturally so, you know, because stuff exists there that shouldn't. But that's what we're trying to prove, that, you know what, it's our park. You know, there should be no reason for a couple of negative people, a couple of people that are doing bad things. For the 1%, there's 99% of us that are doing good things, you know, and we got to demonstrate to them that, you know what, this is our park, and they, you know, they can't take over. You know, we're not going to let them.
In terms of to drop the violence is create these types of tournaments, create these types of incentives that Gil is offering. It doesn't cost that much. All you need is a sort of motivation to get them started.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
This organization was created a couple years ago. My son started going to school there. We formed a club of parents and teachers, parent-teacher organization, to help do stuff for the kids, for our youth, and for the community. And so it didn't exist before we got there. So we started this club, and we've been very, very active. You know, parents willing to help out and do whatever we need to do for the betterment of our kids or our future. So you know, one of our ideas was doing a basketball tournament. Basketball just seemed like an easy sport that I knew that we can get many kids to play without having to worry about financial difficulties and having them pay quite a bit of money. We're not asking for much, and we're giving them T-shirts, and we're taking care of them. So it's a sport that you know, kids of low income, you know, can afford to play.
There's a need for some sort of motivation for these kids to get involved. They obviously want to, however, it's not available to them at the time. I think that park is it's very strong, and it's very very influential, knowing that it's inside a very, how would you say, like minority structured, low income environment. And during that period, all of those kids, I'm assuming that their parents as well don't make enough money, and I think that the park itself is really good to even use. I think that the city should have some sort of subsidies to pay for you know, the uniforms, the jerseys, and at least create this incentive for them to continue doing these tournaments. Having those tournaments, you know, it reinforces, you know, education in terms of, you know, use that opportunity to do something useful and productive rather to be enforced or influenced by gangs, which is the main source and problem, I guess one would argue, in the east side.
Out here in the east side, it's pretty crazy out here right now, but with this putting everything together right here, it brings the whole community together, which is good. It's a good part. It's good for the kids too. Stay away from violence and all that.
We are in desperate need of more stuff, you know. We need a miniature golf place. We need, you know, a golf, you know, what do you call it, those little racetrack cars, what is it called? Go-karts, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, that we do need it. We lack it. But it's just sad if you think about it. On the north side, they have the Boys and Girls Club, north side of Salinas, right? Fine, it's beautiful. It's a nice place. People can go there. On the south side, they have the Y, which is newly remodeled, millions of dollars they've put into it. What do we have on the east side? We have nothing. We have the bread box. Just a little place that you know, okay, let's play basketball, let's do boxing, let's do everything. For the entire east side, which has more population than the north and the south combined, and that's all we have. You know, it's just segregation. I mean, it's really, really bad if you really think about it. And that's why we as parents are going to do something about it.
The gangs is the problem, and recreations, you know, it's a movement that I think that, you know, maybe the mayor himself has to put another department of somebody, probably even Gil, associated just to take care of these tournaments and just to reinforce, you know, that there is some sort of, you know, direction of I guess what the mayor would say, imagine a great city. I mean, I imagine the great city that he's providing, what is it? Just infrastructure, more cops, making things beautiful, but that's not the problem because the gang violence is still there.
So if anything, you know, for them to know that we're going to do something about our future, which is our youth, you know, we're going to do something positive for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.